Overthinking, literally the most common issue and biggest issue in our society at this moment in time. If you're constantly worried about what you're thinking and what you're doing and why you're doing it and where you're doing it and how and all the W's and H's that we learned in our 7th grade English class, then today is the video that's gonna help you out genuinely, because you're gonna look at the root of it. I'm not gonna give you some stupid dumb steps and just be like, oh, okay, this is what you have to do to fix the overthinking, and then leave you off to be for the rest of your life, you know? The reality of overthinking, firstly, let's get straight into it, is to understand that overthinking is not an issue. Okay? Overthinking is part of human nature. Why? Let's explain and let's see it. So, going into not really the spiritual stuff, but just like talking about it in a really surface level, generic understanding, the reason why overthinking even happens in the first place for anyone is because in society, we're bounded by expectations, number one, and then we're bounded by time. So these two things are the most prevalent things in society, which we as humans operate on. We have to get to a place at a certain time. We have to do this to a certain expectation. We have to get there and you have to come back at a certain time, and you have to do this based on someone else's certain expectation. So we're living relationships off of expectations. We're living our jobs off of our expectations, our family issues off of our expectations, our time based on our job and careers. So the whole time you are just worrying about the present and then worrying about the future. So the reality is that when you're worrying about the present and then worrying about the future, but also overthinking and thinking about the past, you're bound to have this train of thought where you're constantly thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, but you're not really doing, you know? So trying to understand overthinking not as an issue, but just as something that happens, is gonna automatically take that identification in your brain to label yourself like an issue, because you're not an issue. That is not an issue for you. It's just something that's happening to you, and it's completely common. So get that out of your head that overthinking is a problem. It's not a problem. Firstly, think of it as something that is human nature. Let it come, let it go. If it comes into your mind, do not associate it with it. Now, the problem is not overthinking. The problem is how we react to that action of overthinking, you know? So maybe our body reacts in a way that maybe we'll start crying. Maybe our mood will become so low that we're going to operate in a low vibrational frequency. Maybe we're so irritated by the overthinking that we lash out on someone that we love. Maybe we're so hurt by the overthinking that we're unable to love ourselves. So these are bodily reactions that are happening because of overthinking. So it's not the overthinking that's the problem, it's the way we react to that. So in life, we need to understand, not just in life, but in general, overthinking, anxiety, any of these type of issues. I mean, being diagnosed with anxiety from a therapist, I can tell you personally that I have gotten so much better with dealing with it, not because of thinking of it as a problem, but thinking of it as something that's natural that happens and allowing it to go without associating with it. For, let's say, tomorrow, someone texts you and says, hey, you know what? I didn't really like what you said yesterday about me in front of some other people, and it's making me feel really sad. Now, a person who'd really be overthinking would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, oh my God, I'm such a bad person. You know, like I screwed this up. Now we're not going to be friends anymore, and it's going to be ruined. And you know, and you're going to go like all into this fucking spiral, and you're going to sit all day, and you're going to have a shit mood because someone probably didn't reply to you properly, or someone said this about you, and you feel bad now, you know? But that is a reaction to what is happening. It's not the present moment. The present moment is someone said something and you have observed it, seen it, understood it, and then let it go. Your deliberate choice of holding on to that certain reaction or that certain statement is what's causing that reaction of overthinking. So the ego is sort of playing here, you know? Let's get into it, because the ego is sort of surviving through those thoughts. The ego survives through the thought that you have in your head. It needs you to stay busy in your mind. It needs you to stay crazy and all spiral up, because your mind is meant to look for problems. The moment you understand that your brain has a functionality of creating and solving issues is the moment you're actually going to start improving. So remember, worrying, planning, judging, remembering is because the moment you become still, your ego starts to die. The moment, I swear, I'm telling you, the moment you just let that fucking thought come into your head and just be like, okay, just don't judge it. You know what I mean by don't judging it? I mean, do not allow your ego to create a meaning off of what's happening. That's why overthinking feels so exhausting. It's because it's draining your life force. It's not your natural state. The natural state of a human being is to be. It's not a human trying. It's not a human thinking. It's not human worrying. It's not human crying, right? It's human being. So you're being in the present moment without allowing the past, which is already said, and the future, which is about to come, which you can't control, neither of them, but just stay here in this present moment, okay? So overthinking keeps you out of this presence. What you need to understand, it's trapped in time. It's trapped in expectations. It's trapped in rules and regulations, and that's what's killing you, you know? It's never now. So the deepest spiritual understanding as to, not even just spiritual, man, fuck the label of spiritual, just the deepest understanding begins when you realize that you're not your thoughts. You are not that overthinking. Who you are is the awareness. Your ability to be able to observe that this is what's happening to you means that it's not a problem anymore. If you can observe that I'm overthinking, then you're not overthinking because you know that you're overthinking. You understand what I'm saying? So try to see yourself from like a third perspective. So I'm Gia, right? So Gia's gonna look at this Gia right now and she's gonna think about some stupid thought. Okay, so now let's say this Gia is like, worrying about some person or fuck it, let's just say I'm worrying about a guy. Okay, so I'm worrying about a guy and this guy is like saying something to me and I'm feeling bad about it and he left me and I'm thinking about it right now. But Gia behind is looking at her and thinking, okay, well, this is happening right now. Okay, so she's worrying about a guy. Now, how do I react to it? Maybe I'll cry, maybe I'll scream, maybe I'll shout. But that is my deliberate choice that I'm making to do based upon the reaction. Overall, what I'm trying to say in this short video is that overthinking is a natural occurrence. It's not a problem. It's not something you have to solve. It's something you need to let it happen. The moment you try to control it, the moment you allow your ego to say, no, I do not want this thought in my head, is the moment you're going to start putting these rules and regulations and you're going to start following all these dumbass rules about, like desensitize, or like you're too sensitive and you're too caring. No, you're not. It's okay. You don't have to labor yourself in that way. Just let it come, observe it, be like, okay, it's happening right now, and it will naturally go. The reason why people are so caught up in their fucking head is because they think you think your thoughts are you. No, it's not you. You are just the person who's enabling those thoughts. You have a brain, so your brain is enabling those thoughts. You get it? So right now, if you listen to me, you can notice that a thought is arising, right? That I'm overthinking again. And then you can also notice that there's me. That there's me, and then there's the thought. So that space between you and the thought, even if it's just a second before you judge the fact that I'm overthinking, your mind is already implying the fact that there is a space between the thought and the reaction. The only reason why you freak out when you overthink is because you allow yourself to think it's a problem. It's not a problem. It's something natural. It happens. And if you say it's a natural occurrence, and if you say that this is just something that happens to every fucking human being on this living earth, then you're not going to let it affect you because you know that it's something that's going to happen. So you need to accept the reality of life that overthinking, anxiety, bad times, shit friends, shit relationships, fucking the worst type of days that you could ever have in your life, they will happen. It's just nature. It's just the way humans are meant to be in this world, in this generation, in this time. We're meant to go through difficult times. We're meant to suffer because that teaches us that we don't have to create attachment to those things, So whatever you're going through, no matter how hard it is, I just want to say that if you just let it be. By the way, I hit my head so hard that it's still red. But if you just let something be, and you let it go, you're gonna start realizing that the moment I allow something to be just what it has to be, it's no longer gonna bother me anymore. And the moment I allow myself to not judge it anymore and not say that this is a problem, this is an issue, then it's gonna get better. Wow. So the next time you catch yourself overthinking, just don't fight the thought, don't get pulled into the story. Just be like, oh, okay, here's the mind trying to pull me again. fuck it, you can even name your mind something, So just go ahead. I mean, I just wanted to say this out here because I've seen such a big issue with overthinking. And you know what? Whatever it is you're going through, it's gonna fucking get better. It's gonna get better. Because you went through the worst time in your life and you're still here. So it's gonna fucking get better. That you are proof within yourself that through generations and generations of problems, you're still fucking alive today. So that's enough proof for you to understand that overthinking is not the solution. It's just a leeway into understanding what you have to be. That's it. Take care. I'm gonna be posting soon.